Every time he throws.
Like this. And that's that leg.
Oh, and now,
Oh, my goodness.
What is going on?
Is it his ACL?
He steps. Now watch his right leg. He steps on it, and right there.
Oh,
yep.
Yep,
Blows
you can
his
see
knee
it.
out, tries to throw it again, and it buckles and gives out. That's crazy. That is literally crazy. Look, it gives out again.
Exchange with him and he'd shoot in. What's happened? Oh my God, McGregor's done already. Well, he's finished. The new boy is in town. The main man's here. Know what I mean? I can become the face of the organisation now. But, yeah, great. What a performance from me. Don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but what a performance.
I'd like to talk to him, unfortunately. Hey, guys, let's get up for Conor McGregor, guys. What an absolute animal. When we were in here, he kept trying to say, I'm trying to come and fight, and he kept having to fight off. Hey, but you guys are lucky, because there's going to be a Holloway UFC McGregor tree now. Let's get this fucking money, boys! I understand you'd like to see him.
Might have actually been the game plan. I mean, it might have been the game plan to just charge out. And look, he threw the kick with the broken leg, right? He's got this titanium rod through the center of his tibia.
I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And, well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think.
Conor McGregor's long-awaited UFC return has crashed in the most brutal way imaginable. A devastating ACL injury during his fight against Max Holloway has left fans wondering whether the Notorious will ever compete again. Is this the final chapter for one?
Snaps his foot. And he winces in pain. Fuck! I fucking hate my life! This is one fucking escape I get, and it's shit! And McGregor's just limping around like my fucking man! Fuck!
The shocking finish sent the entire MMA community into absolute disbelief, and MMA Guru's live reaction captured every second of the chaos. As Conor McGregor suffered the devastating injury, excitement instantly disappeared and pure shock took over. After months of non-stop anticipation, the main event ended within seconds, leaving fans asking one brutal question: can Conor's UFC career ever recover from a setback this devastating?
In a way that just led to that. Well, it might have actually been the game plan. I mean, it might have been the game plan to just charge out. And look, he threw the kick with the broken leg, right? He's got this titanium rod through the center of his tibia. That's the kick he threw, maybe to prove that he can still kick with that leg. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he did it that way. No one will know. Only Conor knows. It's just, we're all just, well, really seemed like he was back for the right reasons for legacy. And now potentially there will be another build or not. We shall see.
As questions kept swirling around Conor McGregor's devastating knee injury, Joe Rogan turned everyone's attention to something even more fascinating: his game plan. Rogan questioned whether Conor's explosive opening attack had been planned from the very beginning, suggesting he wanted to prove he could still unleash powerful kicks with his surgically repaired leg. In the end, however, Rogan admitted that only Conor truly knows what his intentions were. After the fight, Max Holloway finally addressed Conor's injury, revealing what really happened inside the octagon during those chaotic moments.
And there was a camp at 170. There was a lot of things going on. It lasted a few seconds. Tell me about those couple of seconds and what your takeaway from them is.
I had him weak in the knees. What can I say? You know, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. We got to do a third. Hopefully his injury is not too crazy. I know he was saying that they wanted him back in April. I can do that. That'd be fun. I want to actually feel what this 170 weight cracking and power that he says he has. So maybe we can do it back. Right now I'm just praying for the guy. You know, all jokes aside, as a human being, even when I was in there, you could see me telling the ref, bro, this guy is done. Just let it go. And the referee was telling me, bro, thank you for pushing me, because it was a hard spot. He had a hard feeling. And Conor's crazy. Conor's like, fight. I was like, You're fucking crazy, bro.
Oh, he was yelling at you from the bottom?
For the first one, when he first fell down, he was like, fight, I'm good. And we went down the second time. I could just tell, like, his whole demeanor changed. I was like, bro, this called his fight, you know?
Max, that's why you are so beloved in this sport.
Max, that's exactly why you're so respected in this sport. Speaking after the event, Max Holloway admitted the heartbreaking finish was never the fight he had prepared for. Despite earning the victory, he confessed there was little satisfaction because the contest ended before either fighter could truly test themselves. Holloway expressed genuine concern for Conor McGregor's condition, saying his biggest priority was hoping the injury was not too serious. He also revealed that even inside the octagon, he immediately realized something was wrong and urged the referee to stop the action. Still, Max made one thing perfectly clear. He wants the trilogy, believing the real fight is still waiting to...
I think we're all trying to process everything. I guess, can we get your immediate thoughts? It felt like, honestly, one of the best fight cards of all time, and then we get to this weird main event ending. So I guess your immediate thoughts as you sit there right now.
Yeah, listen, everybody who knows anything about the fight business, and it's been a big topic of discussion leading up to this fight. 5 years off in this sport is rough. And like you said, great card, unbelievable. I mean, the Patty Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing too.
I was going to ask you, have you had a chance to talk to Conor? It sounds like you've talked to the medical team. Have you talked to Conor? Do we know exactly the extent of what happened?
I haven't. Is he coming out here? We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he left the arena like.
Then the answer is no. We'll find out when he gets an MRI.
Max said right away, like, hey, man, well, now we got to set this thing up for a trilogy, right? I mean, is there any desire from your point? I mean, you know promoting better than anyone. Like, does that even make sense to do a trilogy right now? Or the way that ended, do you have to go a different direction?
I don't even know. I don't know. You know, you got to take some time. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't like talking about making fights the night of the fight. But
After one of the most thrilling UFC cards in recent memory ended in heartbreaking fashion, every spotlight instantly turned toward Dana White. Speaking moments after the event, the UFC president addressed the shocking injury that ended Conor McGregor's comeback within seconds. While fans immediately started speculating about an ACL tear and a possible trilogy with Max Holloway, Dana refused to rush any decisions. Instead, he explained that Conor's medical results and the outcome of his MRI would ultimately decide what comes next in the former champion's career.
For Conor McGregor coming back after all this time, 5 years away from the sport, after breaking his leg, was at an all-time high, okay? But we know what happened. If you're watching this right now, you know what happened. You know what happened. He went out there, he threw a jumping, flying kick, blew his knee out. They said probably his ACL. Who knows? Maybe a meniscus. Maybe his ACL. Maybe his PCL. That's what I did when I was training with George St. Pierre back in the day in 2005. I blew out my PCL. That's why I got a knee replacement. What I'm saying is that this sport is very, very unforgiving, okay? And Conor McGregor came back after 5 years, and the appetite was there. The thirst was there. And I'm sure the hunger was there on the side of Conor McGregor. But it took about 15 seconds. 15 seconds is all it took. He ran out there, he jumped in the air, he flew a flying kick, which was unadvisable. It was, because the man's almost 40 years old. And then he blew his knee out. And Max Holloway knew straight away. And fair play to Max Holloway, right? He was even telling the referee, going, yo, there's something not right here. There's something not right.
Michael Bisping admitted that anticipation for Conor McGregor's return had reached an all-time high after 5 years away from the octagon. But instead of witnessing the legendary comeback everyone expected, fans watched the fight end in less than 15 seconds after a devastating knee injury. Looking back on the moment, Bisping explained just how ruthless MMA can be while also praising Max Holloway for instantly realizing something was seriously wrong and urging the referee to step in before things became even worse.
That's not it. What it is that you just tried a crazy move. He tried a crazy move. He tried a jumping roundhouse kick. And when you're in that position, when you throw that jumping roundhouse kick, if you don't land in a good way with the supporting leg, you put so much pressure on that knee. The way he landed, he threw the kick, he jumped up, he threw it, and he landed with his knee, the worst position. Well, Joe, it's like when we throw a kick, right? We do step off. You step off. You don't jump through the air and then land in the step off position as if opening your hip to throw a kick. It's like watch this. That is just a crazy amount of torque. Well, watch, look how his foot turns sideways. It pops right there. He's blew his ACL. I mean, look at him off to the side. You can see it shift. You can see his leg shift. He blew his ACL out with the very first movement he did. I mean, look, it sucks, but it's just, you don't do that. Yeah. And especially because Max was moving, so he's adjusting. So as he's throwing the kick in the...
Instead of dismissing it as simple bad luck, Joe Rogan zeroed in on the technique behind the devastating injury itself. Breaking down the replay frame by frame, he explained how one explosive jumping kick placed tremendous pressure on Conor McGregor's supporting knee. According to Rogan, the awkward landing created the perfect conditions for an ACL tear, transforming what was supposed to be an aggressive opening attack into a devastating injury that ended the fight before it could truly begin. One replay captured the...
Finally returning and the adrenaline pumping to maybe even attempt a move like this right off the bat. So he tried this spinning roundhouse kick to start the fight, literally coming right out of his corner, attempting to do this kick to Max Holloway. The landing here is the injury. Essentially, as soon as he lands here, that right knee, ACL, blows out, right? Now he tries to continue fighting. As always, Conor's got balls. He continued to try to fight. Could barely stand up, fell off his feet 3 more times or 2 more times, and couldn't continue eventually. But I want you guys to watch this again, right? So I want to point out the mechanism here. So when he jumps, obviously it's a very rotational kick, right? You're rotating with a lot of force, a lot of power. When the foot hits the ground, right here, it becomes essentially stuck, right? Stuck in this position here. It can't move anymore. As soon as it hits the ground, it could spin a little bit, but it really can't move. But the hips are still spinning with a lot of force. Not to mention the fact that whenever a foot does hit the ground, especially from a jump like that, the ground reaction forces are many times your body weight. So it's not just a body weight of 170. Here's a body weight of 170 times many more factors into that basically causes a huge amount of torque that starts to continue to spin the femur on a fixed tibia, right? The tibia is now in contact with the ground, and now the femur continues to rotate. That's one of the number one mechanisms for the ACL tearing. The second thing, and they go together, is the fact that all that force that he was jumping with and landing with, there's a lot of anterior displacement.
To uncover what truly caused Conor McGregor's devastating knee injury, physiotherapist Jeff Cavalier carefully examined the opening exchange frame by frame. Instead of dismissing it as bad luck, he explained that the injury resulted from a high-risk spinning kick combined with an awkward landing that placed enormous rotational force through the knee. As Conor's foot became firmly planted,
I have heard so far is talking about the jumping kick or the kicks by Conor and the leg going out. I didn't see what Joe Rogan saw. Joe Rogan was confident in telling the broadcast world that he blew out his knee. That may be accurate information. I'm just sharing for you. I didn't see that. Now, the moment, if you go back and rewatch this fight, the moment where you question and go, oh no, oh no, this human, this young man, Conor, isn't ready. He didn't prepare right. He throws a punch, right? We're all thinking of the kicks, but if you rewatch it, he threw a punch and he went down. He lost his balance. He lost his balance on a punch. And that's where I saw, okay, this is not going to be any different than Chuck or Tito.
While most of the MMA world focused on Conor McGregor's kick, Chael Sonnen noticed something completely different. Looking back at the footage, he pointed to an earlier moment that convinced him the comeback was already slipping away. According to Sonnen, the biggest warning sign wasn't the injury itself, but the way Conor lost his balance during a routine exchange.
I mean, I had the man weak in the knees, I guess. So, all jokes aside, I just hope he's good. I know Conor been battling some stuff. Looked like he really been changing. He found God. He had his kids in there. So, during the fight, you could obviously tell his demeanor changed, And I was, shout out to the ref. I was trying to tell the ref sooner, this guy's kids is front row, I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage, trying to stop the fight. But this is how crazy Conor is. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up there. Let's fight. And then he fell back down, and then the fight was called.
I mean, you've been in the UFC octagon more than anybody, right? But I just wonder, you knew you had a wounded guy, but it's almost hard for you to stay mentally focused. Like, hold on, remember what we're here to do. I got to go hurt this guy.
Not at all, we killers. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? I think so.
Although Max Holloway walked away with a victory, his focus quickly shifted from celebrating the win to Conor McGregor's condition. Reflecting on the chaotic moments inside the octagon, Max revealed that he immediately realized something was seriously wrong and even tried to get the referee's attention before more damage was done. Despite their fierce rivalry, Holloway praised Conor's toughness and admitted that beyond competition, fighter safety became his biggest concern the moment he saw the injury unfold.
And it's a shame. It is a shame. Conor McGregor's lived a great life. He's still living a great life. He has earned a ridiculous amount of money. But it's a shame for the fans. It's a shame for Max Holloway. And it's a shame for Conor McGregor. When you consider what he has done for this sport, and I'm not a Conor McGregor fanboy, far from it, but you can't deny the impact that he's had on this sport.
As the disappointment finally began to settle, Michael Bisping looked far beyond the result and focused on what the sport had truly lost. No matter what anyone thinks about Conor McGregor, Bisping believed this was the heartbreaking ending nobody wanted to witness. He explained why the emotional finish was a crushing loss not only for the fans and Max Holloway, but also for one of the biggest superstars in UFC history.
Conor McGregor, the big question is, let me know in the comment section, will he ever fight again? The sport is a better place with Conor McGregor involved. The hype, the anticipation, all of it with Conor McGregor here in town this week was at an all-time high. It was crazy. It really was. But will he fight again? Will he come back? He's just 5 years away from the sport. And now,
with Conor McGregor's future now uncertain, Michael Bisping sparked the question every MMA supporter wondered following such a brutal defeat. Can the Notorious deliver another comeback? Or has the UFC watched him fight for the very last time? Here's exactly what Bisping had to say today.
All of that, there is a potential that you get injured before the event, right? So, but he comes into the fight, and the very first thing, it's very traditional for Conor McGregor. The very traditional thing that Conor McGregor does is that he likes to start fast, whether he's throwing a big kick or he's throwing, a high kick. He comes across the void, does a kick, throws it, and he lands not flat. He lands on his toes and his knee. You can see the rip on his knee, and you see his face, and he goes, and he drops down. Right there, you can tell that this was a knee.
Reviewing the replay, former UFC champion Demetrius Johnson quickly spotted the dangerous movement that altered everything. Instead of concentrating on the outcome, he analyzed Conor McGregor's explosive opening assault and revealed how one awkward landing seemed to cause the devastating knee injury. For Johnson, the warning signs became obvious the instant Conor struck the canvas once more.